Hello, everyone, and welcome to my second drum lesson. Now, today I kind of want to continue on the whole global topic kind of idea and give you another sort of lesson that appeals to everyone, beginners, experts, advanced, intermediate, anything that you could possibly be. It's something that that applies to you, and it's another thing that if you do it effectively, it can really improve your playing and it can really just help you be more creative as well. It gives you a whole lot of options. Now, today's idea is to set up your kit for success. And basically that means that drum sets can be set up in so many different ways depending on the equipment you have. And really it's all about finding the way that works best for you. Now, I'm going to kind of explain what I do, how I do it, and why I do it, and what that does for my playing. And then you can take some of that and maybe it helps you, and then some of it maybe doesn't help you. Maybe you want to go the opposite direction. But I really wanted to address this because so many times I see drummers that they do certain things because they've seen someone else do it, but it really doesn't help them out. It may, like, someone else may play a certain way, and so that setup works really well for them, but you want to find the setup that works best for you. And now, when that comes into my kit, let me explain a few things before I'm going to get the camera out and kind of show you with the mobile camera. But before I even get into that, I'm going to address a few of the things that personally I set up this kit in this way to help and to work with. And so personally, one thing that I enjoy is I like to have everything as close as I can possibly get it, so that even though my arms are really, really long, which allow me to have such a huge kit and still reach everything quickly and efficiently, I also want to keep everything to a minimum as far as that. Like, I don't want to put a tom way over there just because I can reach it. I want a tom to be as close to me as I can get it, so that when I go for it, I can be faster. Now, I do have chops, and I have some fast hands. Not the fastest in the world or anything even close to that. But I feel that my hands are pretty quick as far as like singles and things like that goes. And one of those reasons is not just because of my hands, but it's also because of the way I have my kit set up. Now, first off, that's the thing, and then that's one of the main reasons I've set it up this way. And then also, if you notice, there's a kind of symmetrical on both sides. Now, I've got a China here, a China there, a splash there, crash and crash. And of course, the crash is in the middle. That's just kind of standard, and it's the most basic area to place your crash cymbals is right there in front of you. And then China is usually on the right-hand side. Not too many people play with the left-hand side China unless they have a lot of cymbals. And so I used to have them both over here, but I realized that for accents, I really like to have one on each side. And even though they are pitched differently, that also allows me to create kind of musical melodies. And so that's another reason that my kit is set up in such a fashion, because I can go right, left, splash cymbal, and it's two snares and then high pitch, low pitch. And so it's almost like a fill on the toms, except it's on the cymbals. And so I have the Chinas reversed, so that high pitch is over there, low pitch is over there. So if I want to go low pitch, high pitch, right, left, or I can cross over my hands and just kind of mix it up like I do. One of the videos, Bangarang by Skrillex, I go crossover and kind of switch it so that you hear the two different pitch changes. And those are a couple of the important things about why this kit is set up the way it is. And I'll show you a few other things. So let me get this other camera out here. All right, so like I was saying, if you look right here, all of the toms are basically as close as they can possibly be to each other. And the gaps are almost non-existent. And I even did the lugs. You can't really see that very well. There we go. I even did the lugs like that so that they can get even closer. Now, one question I do get asked all the time is, why is this drum over here and then it's out of order? And so a lot of drummers you see have their drums out of order because it allows them to do forwards and backwards melodies with the going right or going left. And if you notice, I don't play this tom that much. I'm not really a progressive like metal drummer or anything, kind of like I guess I would say like Mike Mangini or Dream Theater or something. Like, I don't play much music like that. I really respect those drummers, but really when it comes down to it, it's just about this drum being shorter. And so because that drum's shorter, I can keep the drums lower and keep them closer to the height of my floor toms and the height of my snare drum. And so all that does is minimize the amount of space and amount of movement I have to go to reach those drums. Now, another interesting thing is most people have their bass drum pedal to the right-hand side of their hi-hat. And me, I prefer a wider stance on my bass drum pedals and a closer to the snare drum for my hi-hat, because right here, I want this space to be as small as it can possibly be. And I had to move it a little bit because of that mic so I could squeeze it in there. But for the most part, that's done so that my hi-hat can be as close to my snare as possible and so that my bass drum can be a wider stance, because I have long legs. And so that really gives me a kind of an open feel, and I don't feel cramped up here hitting my legs on the snare drum. And so... I'm hooked up. There we go. All right, and besides that, the cymbals, they're all pretty close together. I keep my hi-hats rather low, close to my snare drum, once again, so I can be fast. And same with the floor tom. I don't hit the ride too hard, so it doesn't really hit the floor tom at all. And China cymbals are at the same height. I try and make sure that splashes are the same height, crashes are the same height, China's are the same height. And so I'm going to put this camera down because it's getting it's a little too much of this handheld here. But you basically see, and that everything I try and keep at different levels, and I try and keep it as close together as possible. And so what I want you to go home tonight as kind of your homework for this lesson is to take a look at your kit. And I know that I have a lot of really nice equipment, and I am very blessed with what I have. I've worked hard for it. So I can't say that everyone has the same options I do as far as the way they set up their kits, because, like, number one, this rack, and the rack really allows me to do things a lot differently because I don't have to deal with cymbal stands. The bottoms of the stands are, of course, a mess if you have like 20 of them. So I use a rack system. And if you have the money, then I would really, really recommend getting a Pearl rack system, because it's square. It doesn't tilt like the Gibraltar one. And it's still pretty cheap. You can get one for like a couple $100. And it really helps out. But besides that, so I just want you to take a look at your kit and see what you can do with it that can help you play what you play better. Now, say you're a metal drummer, then you want all your drums really close together and you want to be able to speed through stuff. Say you're all about like big punches and stuff, then maybe you want two of your toms on this side so you can smash it like that and then have your one tom over here and your ride down there. A lot of country drummers play that way because they have their ride right there, one tom, snare, and two toms. And so they have their punches and then they got their ride in close proximity and they can kind of play like that. And so after you consider your playing style, like we talked about in the first drum lesson, then really it comes down to setting up your kit so that however you play works best for you. And to make sure that the way you have your kit set up isn't hurting you, because if you've got your stuff too far away from you, that's really going to take away from your ability to play it. And really it's all about your kit's there to help you and to really make you even a better drummer because of the way it's set up. And so that's one thing that you can easily do to instantly make yourself better, is just make your drum set up in a more organized and easy to play way. So yeah, I think I'll just play a little bit and kind of show you why I have everything set up so you can see kind of the speed that I have between the drums, and I'll try and show you a few fills and stuff that work off of the way the drums are set up. Yeah, and so I'll show you that, and then that'll kind of fade out and everything. So after that, this lesson will be over. So stay tuned for the next one. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching. I hope it helps. Let me know in the comments section if it does help or if it doesn't help or if you have any ideas. Cool.